guys, I'm finally doing another video. I thought I would do a Q&A, obviously. I just like to do them every couple months to make sure that I'm answering your guys' questions and like giving you advice that you actually want to hear. So I asked you on Instagram to ask me questions. Some of them are like personal questions, like just kind of lifestyle questions, like not recovery related really at all. And some of them are like really deep meaning, like, you know, advice questions. So I'm going to be mixing it up a little bit. So someone asked, have I experienced binging in recovery? I think the first couple months, maybe even year of recovery is definitely a lot rockier and harder and more eventful than like once you get a couple of years into it. Like I'm over 18 months into recovery, so I hardly ever get like challenges or stuff like that. Like it's completely different for everyone, but I really feel like I tackled mine head on from the start. But yeah, I did binge like a little bit, and it was really hard as well, because obviously that triggers like guilt and stuff like that. And I get a lot of questions, people asking how to like stop binging and how to get at that cycle, because it is something that you get like trapped in. By the way, if my voice sounds weird, I was ill for a couple of weeks. That's also why I haven't really been alive on here. Your body also gets used to like, and it almost expects all of that food to like keep coming and stuff, so it craves it, and that's I think why you keep binging. I'm not like a dietitian or anything, but that's just kind of what I've learned from my dietitian that I used to have, and like experience and stuff, and just kind of knowledge that I have accumulated. And you need to just slowly wean yourself off it. It's like a bad habit. You just need to keep eating, like if for me it was sugary things that I really struggled with, like for cravings and stuff, and it was at the beginning of my recovery as well, which was kind of when I needed to be eating a lot of safe foods for me, and kind of needed to be like toning it down a lot and going really slowly, because like I always say, it's more important to go slower than it is to kind of hurry yourself along, because then you'll just overwhelm yourself. And as you slowly start to cut out eating loads of it, like you eat slightly less of it each time, whether that's every day or every week or whatever, your body kind of gets used to what you start giving it, rather than like just feeding yourself with loads of foods that you don't need and that you keep craving. A couple people asked, would I ever become vegetarian or vegan? Someone actually said, would I ever be vegan? But I'm not actually even vegetarian, so I don't think I would ever consider going vegan, just because that's my personal preference. Like I don't know why I ever would want to. Vegetarian, I have thought about it, and I don't want to go into too much depth because this is something that could be quite controversial, and the last thing I want, like I just hate controversy. Like I wouldn't ever say something that's really opinionated and that could like start an argument or a discussion, a conflicting debate and stuff like that, just because I don't think it's worth it. Like I'll keep my controversial opinions to myself, but I will say that I don't disagree with eating meat because I know it's natural and stuff, but I do think as humans we have like a conscious choice, and I think we eat too much meat, and we kind of like, there's a lot of people that I feel like they just kill for the sake of it. We probably have more people killing all these animals than we need. In an ideal world, it would be really nice for people to say, right, this is how many cows we're allowed to kill per year, blah blah blah, stuff like that. I don't know how that would work, but that's what I want to happen. I am cruelty free and I use vegan products. I'm basically vegan with everything apart from food. When I tell people that, they're like, what else is there to be vegan? Like I thought vegan was just food. But obviously like makeup and products, and my shampoo, body conditioner, like moisturizers, just any like product that I use, I really try my hardest to get a vegan one. It is really hard sometimes. Also, if you ever see me using something that you know definitely isn't cruelty free, then I bought it before I went cruelty free, because I'm not gonna, like if I've already bought it, then I'm not gonna chuck it out. If like it's a gift or something, because it's already been bought, like the damage has been done. I would rather live without makeup or any kind of beauty thing if having them made meant harming animals. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever become vegan, and I don't think I would be vegetarian either. I do think about it a lot because I want to do more, but at the end of the day I don't feel like me becoming vegetarian would actually help. You know, and we don't treat animals right, but that's why I've done the whole cruelty free thing, so I feel like I'm doing my part anyway. Some of these questions I just have really quick answers to, but I'm probably just gonna like fire them out anyway rather than just like not bother with the questions. Someone said, it's on my phone so I can't read it like directly. I think I have to like remember them. But yeah, someone said any passions or hobbies that I want to share. Obviously my music. I love my music, and that's what I want to do when I'm older. Obviously I'm working on like confidence and skills, because it is something, even if you're gifted with like the best voice ever, you still have to learn to perform, and you still have to learn to sing and use your voice. And yeah, it's something that I'm working on. I'm not half as good the musician that I want to be, but I don't know, I'm happy with where I am at the moment. And yeah, I'm just practicing and stuff. Like, I might upload something and I think it's really not that good. You know, I'm not going to get any better by never uploading stuff. And someone says, who or what inspires me? My main thing in life is like to be positive and happy, and just like never be rude or spread negativity. I just don't get the point of it. I kind of don't know why everyone isn't like this, but it's just like, I would never be intentionally rude. I would never set out to hurt someone's feelings. Like, I hardly even talk about people behind their back. I just feel really guilty and I just hate doing it. And yeah, I just think everyone should be like that, just be kind. And I think that's been really influenced by, it sounds really silly, but just me watching like vloggers and YouTubers on YouTube. Where else are you going to watch YouTubers? As you would watch YouTubers on YouTube. People like Alfie Days and Zoella. I always have people like their videos playing in the background when I'm like doing stuff. Like, I just can't do stuff in silence. I have to have something playing in the background, and usually it's their videos or, you know, some other YouTubers' videos. And they just, I know that they're like, you know, they're not perfect. I would say I have so much respect for them rather than I'm a fan. Like, obviously I'm a massive fan of their videos and stuff, but I just have so much respect for them. And yeah, just positive people. And Jonathan Saccone Jolie as well, he's really positive. It's just watching just normal people being positive and sharing positivity, like that's what I want to do. Sorry, I've had to move you. I hope it's still a good angle. Someone said, is there a massive difference between the clothes I wear indoors and the clothes I wear outdoors? Yes. This is like the kind of stuff that I wear indoors. I mean, I'd wear this out, but this is the kind of stuff I wear indoors. Like, I've just got little pyjama shorts on. Just really comfy bottoms, either shorts or like loungy bottoms, and then a really baggy jumper is like all I wear when I'm in the house, just comfy. I wouldn't ever throw on something that looks hideous, that makes me feel disgusting, but I really like comfy clothes, and I do kind of have a thing, it still has to be quite like stylish, I guess, especially like all this modern stuff when it comes to fashion. Like, my style is just very modern, I think, very basic, but that's how I like it. And yeah, when I'm out I put more thought into it. But I just love comfy stuff. I wouldn't ever wear something that was uncomfortable unless it looked really good. Someone said, which fears in recovery turned out to not be that scary once you faced them? Honestly, recovery itself. Like, it just seems like such a scary thing. I want to say gaining weight as well. Like, obviously that was really hard in the beginning. But I feel like after a couple of months, things just got like in such a smooth... It kind of went smoothly. Like, obviously it wasn't easy, but it kind of went smoothly. And I feel like a lot of people make it out to be this awful rocky journey. Like, it's still tough, and I wouldn't say I had it easy, because no one does. I think once you have that mindset shift of realising that you can do it and that you're like going to be okay, that you don't need your eating disorder, you can just work on the feelings. It's a bit like a breakup. Like, once you realise that person isn't coming back and that you're going to be okay without them, even if you feel sad, mentally you're okay with feeling sad. I kind of feel like that's the same in recovery. Like, once you realise you're going to be okay, even if you get a bad negative eating disorder thought, you can just tell yourself, oh, it's okay, this will pass, you know, this is my anorexia speaking, this isn't Emily. And I think that's why after about 6 months to a year, things got a lot easier. But then that's weird, because I also forget how tough they were, because that was quite a while ago for me now. Like, it's coming up to 2 years. And I feel like everyone has that shift. It just happens at different stages for different people. Another question is, how do you stop comparing your food intake to others? I feel like that's a really good one, because when you're eating like 3 meals a day, 3 to 4 snacks a day, and your dietitian's telling you to eat all this, like a little bit of everything from each food group, and you're kind of a bit overwhelmed, especially if you've just come out of eating like a couple hundred calories a day. It can be really overwhelming. And I think like something that I didn't realise until I was given a meal plan and had to start gaining is that 90% of people my age don't eat half as much as they should. It's like so many of my friends and so many people, they can go like a day having just one meal, and that's not healthy. It's like with school and everything, I remember when I was in school, so many people like wouldn't even eat lunch, and I was just sat there like, how can you not eat lunch? What's wrong with you? I need my food. But yeah, just reminding yourself that you're sick, that there's a reason, It's like physically you might be able to eat as much as they are, but mentally you shouldn't, because you have this illness. That means that if you physically don't eat enough and you notice you lose a little bit of weight, that might be nothing major for someone without an eating disorder. Because you have one, you have to remind yourself that that's going to be a lot more harder for you, and that's not something you can risk doing. But yeah, like if you're watching someone eat like 1 meal a day and you're on 3, it doesn't mean you're any more greedy, or it doesn't mean that this other person is lucky that they like get away with not having to eat. Not eating enough for someone who has an eating disorder can be really triggering, and that's not something that you want to risk. You need to be healthy physically to be able to be healthy mentally. Like, I get really funny when I don't eat enough because I just hate it. Like, I know how bad it can be for you because of obviously what I went through with my eating disorder. So I know that I eat a lot more than like any of my friends do, but it's just because I'm more aware, and B, even though I might be okay eating slightly less than I need to, I still need to eat at least what I need, if not more, always more. Because if not, then I'm really mentally aware of that, and that's when my eating disorder will creep in and be like, excuse me. Or in my case, I feel like, because I'm over my eating disorder thoughts, pretty much. For me, it's guilt. Like, it's kind of the opposite of an eating disorder. I feel like I need to eat enough rather than not wanting to eat enough. Yeah, remind yourself that you're sick and that you need to be kind to yourself. Like, you need to be kinder to yourself than others might need to be kinder to themselves. But that's just because of an illness that you have, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, they've probably got stuff going on that you don't know about. Someone says, how do I tell people about my eating disorder? I'm kind of lucky in a sense that, like, there was never really a time that I actually had to tell anyone, apart from my manager when I got pulled out of work for a couple of weeks from the hospital. But that was only, or from my nurses, but that was only, but I mean, even then I could have just said, oh, I'm, you know, ill. Like, you don't really ever have to tell anyone if you don't feel comfortable. I tell more people than I need to tell. I don't go around blabbing it, because there's just some people that just won't ever understand, and you can kind of tell who those people are. Like, if you're close enough to someone that you consider telling them, you're probably close enough to them to know whether they're going to understand or not. Most people, honestly, like, are fine with it. I feel like the most intimidating bit about it is that a lot of people are intimidated by an eating disorder. Like, some people who I've told, oh, I had anorexia, they're like, oh my god, are you okay? Even though I obviously am, and especially with the stereotypical anorexics being, like, you know, deathly thin, in hospital dying. Like, that's not what anorexia means. It's just people who aren't educated in that field don't know that. Yeah, I'm just very open about it. I get that there's going to be people that don't ever want to tell anyone because it's just their personal stuff, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes I just feel like I can't be bothered to tell people, and that's fine. I almost go around, well, I do go around telling people, you know, the occasional person that I want to tell, like, it's no big deal, because it is no big deal. Like, yeah, I went through a really shitty time, but who hasn't? It's just mine has a label, so sounds more serious, and mine physically was just a little bit more unfortunate. But yeah, I'm lucky in the sense that I'm just a very, like, open person, and I just kind of want to tell people about it because I want to normalise it. And sometimes I just slip it into a conversation. Like, I won't deliberately try and avoid telling someone. Like, I'll just be like, oh, even if I don't know them very well, I'll just be like, oh yeah, well, I had, like, this eating disorder, blah blah blah. And I just want to normalise it because it's not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. Like, everyone has something. It's just, like I said, people can be a lot more intimidated by the label of an eating disorder because it has a label, and lots of people associate that with really physically ill. Someone said how to get rid of quasi recovery, when you're, like, in that stage of you kind of want to recover but you kind of don't at the same time, which is a really awful place to be. Is it quasi recovery? I don't know, that's how I say it in my head. I might be pronouncing that wrong. But someone said, how do you get rid of that, especially when you're weight restored and you're still gaining? First of all, I always say that body confidence is something that comes once you're, like, recovered. And yeah, it's kind of just the straightforward advice that I give everyone who asks something along these lines. But I kind of feel like I'm not trying to just repeat myself, like, it is the only thing that I can suggest that I just think helps so much. It's just go really slow, and one day it will just click. Like, you will, if you keep going, you'll get to a stage where you realise that you want to recover, and after that you will get body confident. So yeah, I really don't think, I feel like a lot of these questions are people being scared of what will happen once they start eating more and get recovered, but mentally you find yourself in such a better place than you more likely are now, that stuff like that doesn't bother you anymore. Last question, and I feel like this is going to be such a long video. If I could live off one meal for the rest of my life, what would it be? I'm going to include dessert because I really like dessert. Yeah, either pasta, bearing in mind that I could like switch the toppings and stuff like every day, like salmon one day, cheese one day, tomato one day, pasta, salmon one day, because I do get bored of stuff really easily. I would hate to live off one meal for the rest of my life. Or pancakes, hoisin sauce and duck. You know, you can get those, like, I can't remember what the pancakes are called, those savoury, really thin pancakes, almost like crepes, but they're not sweet. Are crepes even sweet, or is it only the toppings you put on top? But yeah, that. And for pudding, cheesecake, because I really like cheesecake. It used to be fudge, was like my go-to pudding, if someone says, well, if you could have one sweet thing. But I'm not a massive fan of fudge anymore. It's so weird. There's so many sweet things that I can't eat anymore. Like, my sweet tooth has definitely lessened, which is actually really tragic. But due to my massive love for carbs, there's probably not enough room for me to love sweet stuff anymore either. But yeah, that's not every question, but I did get quite a lot of questions, so obviously I can't answer them all. But thank you if you did ask me a question. Thank you for watching. I think I'm just gonna like put a disclaimer out now, like my videos are never not going to be rambly, and I always at the end of every video go, sorry this is so long, sorry I've rambled so much, but that's probably what all my videos are going to be like, because I just can't not ramble, and I just have so much to say, and I don't ever want to miss something out, because I'm talking to so many people. Like, one person could want to hear like the first half, while the other person could want to hear the second half, so I always try and keep as much in as I can, so I can help as many people as I can. But yeah, thank you for watching. I really hope that I'm going to be able to upload more. Like, I'm never going to stress myself out with uploading too often, but it's just something that I love doing, and I feel like shit if I don't upload enough, because I want to upload more. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!